Okay, let's be real. A-levels are a completely different league, aren't they? All of a sudden, it's not enough to just remember a few facts. You're expected to connect big ideas from across your entire syllabus. And honestly, that can feel pretty overwhelming. So in this explainer, we're going to break down how you can shift from just surface-level reading to building that deep, conceptual understanding you really need to crush your exams. Here's the game plan. First, we'll look at the A-level challenge itself. Then, we'll talk about how to go beyond just reading your notes. We'll introduce you to a personal AI tutor designed to help you connect all those dots. After that, we'll dive into some much smarter revision strategies, and we'll wrap up by posing a question to get you thinking. So let's talk about the A-level challenge. And it's not just that there's a mountain of content to get through, which of course there is. The real trick is being able to pull together information from different topics, sometimes stuff you learned a year or two ago, and apply it all in one single high-stakes exam. It's a lot, for sure, but there are definitely ways to make it manageable. This line from the Pearson Edexcel physics spec, it says it all. Questions in this paper may draw on any of the topics in this specification. That right there is the heart of the A-level challenge. You just can't study topics in neat little boxes anymore. You have to be ready for those questions that pull concepts from all over the syllabus. And just look at the weighting for these A-level physics papers. Paper 3, which is all about making those connections between topics and practical skills, is worth a massive 40% of your final grade. That is a huge chunk, and it just proves how crucial it is to have that big picture, holistic understanding of your subjects. So what's the main takeaway from all this? Well, you can't just passively read your textbooks and cross your fingers, hoping for the best. Success at A-levels is all about deep understanding and, more importantly, being able to apply what you know in new, sometimes totally unexpected ways. And this isn't just a physics thing. The AQA chemistry spec says you need to be able to draw together different areas of knowledge. This is the skill of synthesis, and honestly, it's what separates the top students from everyone else. But how do you actually build that skill? So, you're sitting there surrounded by textbooks, your notes, all these revision guides. How in the world are you supposed to connect all the dots without completely getting lost? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, we might just have an answer for you. And this is where a tool like NotebookLM comes into play. Think of it as your personal AI tutor, one that's specifically designed to help you go deeper with your subjects and start making those absolutely crucial connections between different topics. Now, here's the key thing that makes NotebookLM so different. It's not some generic AI that's just scraping information from all over the internet. No, this tool is grounded exclusively in your course materials. We're talking about your textbooks, your lecture notes, any PDFs or documents you upload, and nothing else. This technology is called source-grounded AI. And what that means is when you ask it a question, NotebookLM will only ever use the documents you've personally given it to come up with an answer. This is so important because it ensures every single response is relevant to your syllabus and totally accurate to the material you're actually going to be tested on. Think of it this way. A general AI search is kind of like asking a random person on the street for help with your homework. You might get the right answer, but you could also get a ton of irrelevant or just plain wrong information. NotebookLM, on the other hand, is like having a private tutor who only uses your textbooks and class notes. You know for a fact you're getting reliable information, and you can even check the citations to see exactly where it came from. This is where the magic really happens, in the chat panel. You can ask it to do really complex stuff, like compare and contrast different historical perspectives, or explain a tricky scientific process. And for every key point it gives you, you get a little citation that links right back to the exact passage in your source material. It's literally like having a conversation with your textbooks. Okay, so you're starting to get a handle on the individual concepts. That's great. But now it's time to start connecting them. This is where you build that big picture understanding that is so essential for those really difficult synoptic questions and those top grade essays. The mind map feature in the Studio panel is an amazing tool for this. It actually generates a visual summary of your sources, so you can literally see how different topics and ideas link together. It's a fantastic way to get that bird's eye view of your subject and start organizing your thoughts before you even begin writing. And speaking of writing, when it comes to essays, NotebookLM can be a total game changer. As you're studying, you can use the Notes feature to jot down key ideas and quotes. Then, when you're ready to start planning, you can just ask the AI to help you structure your thoughts and create a really solid outline. It's such a great way to get a head start and let you focus on what really matters, your argument. All right, so you've put in the hard work, you've built a deep understanding of your subjects. Now it's time to revise. But let's be honest, just rereading your notes over and over again is not the most effective way to prepare for your exams. It's definitely not the most exciting. So let's talk about some smarter ways to revise. NotebookLM can help you create all sorts of custom study tools. You can generate quizzes and flashcards to really test your knowledge. You can create an audio overview to revise while you're on the bus. You can even generate a video overview for a visual walkthrough of a complex topic. The whole point is to find what works for you and your learning style. And this isn't just about making revision a bit more interesting. This kind of active, interactive approach to learning has a real, measurable impact on student success. Just take a look at this number, for example. A study on interactive learning tools found a 34% decrease in drop, fail, and withdraw rates. I mean, that is a huge improvement, and it just goes to show that when you take an active role in your own learning, you are so much more likely to succeed. So, what's the bottom line here? Tools like NotebookLM put you in the driver's seat of your own education. You're no longer just passively consuming information. You become an active participant in your own learning. And that is an incredibly powerful thing. So I'll leave you with this question. What are you waiting for? What's that one specific A-level subject, that one complex theory that's been giving you a headache? That's your starting point. Go on, upload your notes, and just see what you can discover. I think you might be really surprised at what you find.